history, past and present for you. Meeting friends old and new. Streaming Wednesdays and Saturdays too. With founder members Paul and Sue. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Where local memories survive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Film clips, photos, memories and friends. Helps a dreary night go by. Wearing Hinckley's 6 of the best. Stupendous quizzical high. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Where local memories survive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Let's take you back in time. A community affair. We'll take you for a ride. Henson's Cab will take you there. We're making history. HDPP, chatroom applauses. History aside. Local causes. Streaming HDPP live. Betty is our queen bee. The sweetest honey candy. Dangerous Den, here again. HDPP live. Hey, you know we keep it HDPP.
Oh, there they go, there they go. Good evening, welcome, welcome, one and all. Here we are once again. Oh, yes. How are you? Are you all right? Are you all right? Are you really okay? You know, top of my monitor's just creeping on the screen there. Good evening, hello. Sunday evening, HDPP live from the heart of Hinckley on a Sunday night. Yes, the dark nights are with us. Yes, it's been a beautiful day wherever you've been. I mean, I don't know some of our listeners and viewers, different parts of the country, but here in old Hinckley, beautiful, lovely sunshine today. It was the sort of sunshine that when you just went outside and the sun was just kissing your cheeks. It was beautiful. And we had our granddaughters with us last night, and so this morning we just went for a walk, and it was lovely, and seeing the autumn colours and stuff. Wow, and now tonight, bang, dark, can't see a thing. It's great to have your company here tonight for a Sunday night. We have all the regular features, including 6 of the best. We'll be doing that very, very shortly. We've also got a feature, we're going to have a few minutes down in Hinckley Carnival in 1989. Then we're going to take a drone flight in 2 seasons over the town. Ooh, so careful you don't get air sick, and then we'll be having a nosy, all the sort of thing we normally do on a Sunday evening. Anyway, if you're new to the broadcast, great to have you here. Hello. We have a bit of fun. It's just fun. We're not doing anything. You don't have to be particularly clever about any one thing, because we're all here just to have fun, and it helps the night go by a bit. Annabelle was first one in the old chat room tonight with a big cooey, and we say hello. And then Anne Hunt was here as well. Now, you may have noticed we've now worked out how we can put the link up before the broadcast starts, which is great, which means a lot more people can get online. So I'll always try and post the link for the live stream approximately half an hour before we go live, okay? So there we have it. So Anne and Annabelle were first on the ball with that, and I've actually started the broadcast there. A good evening also to Well, oh yes, Daniel's here. Daniel Coburn. Daniel, great to see you on Wednesday night. Didn't we? If you didn't come to Wednesday night, you missed a brilliant presentation by Eddie Smallwood. Talking of Eddie, I'll tell you something about him in a moment. But Eddie did a superb talk for us, and it was a good night too. When I get these guest speakers in, it's no use, Sam. I'm off to the theatre, Mary. Is it? I mean, look, let's just get something crystal clear. It's set in stone in the HDPP Constitution that we will have our social nights always on the fourth Wednesday. So it's no use going off to the theatre because we're always going to be here. Okay? Because it always makes me smile and say, oh, I can't hush a bit. Well, you know when we do our bit. The rest is up to you. Anyway, and we miss Carol. We know that Carol, hello, Carol. Nice to know you're back now. I know you missed it and you've gone your hollybobs. But next time you can cancel it, you see. All right. David Starnborough and the Starnboroughs are here this evening. Nice to know that you're both there. Now, David and Alexandra really enjoyed themselves on Wednesday night. It was a super little night. It really was. And Eddie Smallwood, last night, he was on the TV. What do you mean you didn't see it? Oh, no, seriously, he was. A programme called Rob Bell's Lost Battlefields. And Eddie was in that, and they were up at Manchester, and they were talking about Boudica. Because they reckon somewhere in that vicinity is where, she was defeated. But there was our Eddie. Great to see him. And Eddie, if you're watching this later on, thanks for a great night. And we look forward to some more of your presentations in the future. I do know that he's keeping very, very busy. So there we go. Anyway, Dave B's here. Happy Solstice Day. If you say so, David. If you say so, Dave, fair enough. Kath, Mrs. Smugley is here. Hello, Mrs. Smugley. And Queen Bee is with us as well. Jan Kirby's here. Now then. Evening, everyone. Just got back from Wales with the crops and our family. Well, yes, absolutely, Jan. Well, I know Mike's feeling a bit better too. I know you've had quite a bit on. See, the crops didn't make Wednesday night. No. Amateurs. And Jan had to stay home and nurse young Mike, so we understand that. But there you go. Anyway, so here we are on this Sunday evening. As I say, I've got some lovely things to feature tonight, so we're going to get on with that. But first, we better do 6 of the best, because you can be working on that while I rabbit on about other things. Okay, so if you've got your pens and paper there now, before you start, remember, don't put your answers in the chat room. Don't give us the answers until I ask at the end of the programme. Right. By the way, Carol Beasley's saying, I blame my sister that I can't come. She can only get away at half term. Oh, dear. I don't know. 6 of the best. Okay, then, so we're going to ask you 6 questions. Let's see if we can start off on the right note with this one. And some of these we've used before. Some, well, you'll see as we get through it. Okay, then. Question number 1. I want the full name. The full name, please. Name the famous local pioneering orthopedic surgeon. That should be. I had to retype orthopedic. So that, or orthopedic doctor, that should do. You see, I was so quick. The problem is, let me tell you what goes on. Mrs. G comes in and checks the questions about 2 minutes before we start. Then time's short and I don't have a chance to correct things, you see. So I'm blaming Mrs. G for this one. Name the famous local pioneering orthopedic doctor. That should say. It should say doctor. Okay, I will do that. I'll correct that while you're watching some of the film in a few minutes' time. Gary Bettley's just joined us. I'm here, just been making me butties. Do you know, you'll get me all hungry all of a sudden. You're going to have something now. Okay, right. Let's move on. I've got to press the right button now because I've gone all of a thing all of a sudden. So here we go. Question number 2. General knowledge question this is. Now, what connection does Muffin the Mule have to the late Sir John Mills? Anybody got don't answer that yet. I thought that was a good question. Is that a good question, Mrs. G? She's just shrugging her shoulders. What connection does Muffin the Mule have to the late John Mills? Now, please, don't go on Google. Don't cheat. Get some extra smug points We want you to get extra smug points by being able to answer these questions without the help of Google A. Okay? So what connection does Muffin the Mule have to the late Sir John Mills? Question number 3, find the words. Now, don't worry, I will be showing this on the screen again in a few moments' time, but just so you can get all your dashes in the right place. Now, we're looking for a well-known 80s TV series. In fact, I'd forgot this, and when I said, I thought, oh, yeah, I remember that. It was very big on the TV at the time. It wasn't a soap, by the way, so just there. But there it is. There, that's what it is. Fill in those gaps. And it'll give you the title to a well-known 80s TV series. Okay, that's on question 3. Now, don't worry, I'm going to put that on the screen again when we do a recap in just a moment. Right, we move on. Now then, I like this one. This is our Guess the Pop song played on the Hammond organ. Are you ready? You're going to hear a very well-known poppy song, but what is it? And you hear it played on the old Hammond organ. Here it comes. Wow, I'm getting better at playing this organ, you know. It's so much better now. Yeah, I'm beginning to get there. Yeah. Do you know that song? If you do, write it down. Keep it to yourself. Don't tell anybody else. We'll come back to that in a few moments' time. That's question 4, your musical round. And question number 5 with the hooray! Hooray! It's the return of true or false. Yeah, the return of true or false. An octopus has 3 hearts. Is that true? Is it false? But don't go on Google. Don't go. Come on. You're better than that. Get those extra John Smugly points. That's what you need. Them extra that can make all the difference by the end of the evening. Okay. And finally, the highlight of the week. Yes, it's the highlight of the week. Definitely. Our anagram question is... Abelson stenciled thief taker. Yeah, if you rearrange that, you'll get a local visitor attraction. Now, we have used this before, but not this particular anagram, if you understand. So we've featured this place before, but as I say, just a different anagram, if you get the idea. So let's go over the questions one more time, shall we? Name the famous local pioneering orthopedic doctor. Okay, like I will type doctor in there when we're watching a film in a minute, okay? Name the famous local pioneering orthopedic doctor. I want his full name, please. Not just Dr. which person. I want Dr. blah, 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 blah. You understand? Good. Question number 2. What connection does Muffin the Mule have to the late Sir John Mills? I didn't know this till I've read about it the other day. I thought, there's a nice general knowledge trivia question. If you don't know, you're going to learn something tonight. Keep it here on HDPP Live. Here's your Find the Words. Let me just leave that on the screen a few moments for you, just so you can fill in the blanks. Because we're looking for a well-known 80s TV series. A well-known 80s TV series. I remember it was on the BBC. I'm sure it was on the BBC, actually. Well, we'd only got about four channels back then anyway, so it's got to be one of them. But this was very big at the time, yeah. Couldn't tell you what it was about. I never watched it, but I remember the tittle. There we go. So there's your Find the Words, a well-known 80s TV series. Okay. Right. Oh, Dangerous Dances. Dangerous Dances. I think the last word of question 3 is a dash short. I may be wrong. I will check that. I don't think so. Not sure. Don't think so. Anyway, but you'll get the general gist anyway, so it's not going to make any difference to the overall outcome of that. Here we go then. Your chance to identify this pop song played on the pop organ. I'm really getting used to this. You got it now, ain't ya? Yeah. You've got it now, yeah. There we go. A famous pop song. and that's played on the Hammond organ. I've been practicing that all blooming week. Yeah, okay. Question number 5, true or false? An octopus has 3 hearts, bigara bigosh. Is that true? Is it false? But try not to do it without going on Google, because that spoils it. You're not as clever if you have to go on there. Yeah, you know what I mean? Dangerous Den saying, oh, I think you're right, Paul. As you were. Sorry, I am wrong. Now, Dangerous Den won't say that very often, bless him. So ignore that last comment. We have got all the dashes in the right place. Okay, then, can you get the anagram tonight? Abelson Stenciled Thief Taker. This is a local visitor attraction. If you rearrange them letters there of Abelson Stenciled Thief Taker, you will get a local visitor attraction. Haven't been for about over 12 months now, so probably have to go again sometime. Right, there we go. That is your amazing 6 of the best. We'll come back and visit it throughout the evening, and then you can just play it all night long. Okay, now, Jeff Wallace, I must say hello, Jeff. He says, Anna and Jeff in Brattleby, problems signing in again. Oh, and we sat in the pub yesterday waiting for you two to come in because we were told, Anna says, Jeff will be here, we'll come and sit with... No. We got stood up again. What can I say? Right, okay. Well, it's nice to know that you're with us, Jeff, and Anna in Brattleby. Wow. Oh, good. Right, okay then. I promised you we've got some nice little features tonight. Tonight, I thought we'd do a little bit of drone footage, and we're going to fly over Hinckley in the summer and then in the winter, because we're at that time of year, like I say, we've got the dark nights here. It'll be lighter in the mornings for a little while, but even that'll get dark, as you know how it goes. So I thought, well, let's look back and see what it was like in the summer and stuff, and you know what it's all about. So just sit back. This is only a few minutes worth of little short film, but just enjoy the view as we go up and away. For those that don't know, we're just over Burbage Common at the moment. And now a fly down Castle Street. concluding with what was the Hinckley Grammar School, Over the Top. Oh, I'm so relaxed now. Dangerous Den says, I'm horizontal. And then snowy winter time over Hinckley. Look at these wonderful views. I don't think there's any sound to this particular bit of audio, but we wanted to show it anyway. And here it is. In fact, well, there might be a little bit of music. There might just be a bit of music on this as well. No, it's not. It's all quiet. As we fly over, this was taken about 4 years ago now. It was one of those mornings where we just had a sprinkle of snow. There wasn't much snow really, but enough for it to last into sort of lunchtime. So everywhere got a lovely overall dusting of snow, making everywhere look that little bit better. And won't it look really, really good in Argentsmead as we're flying over now by the bandstand there? This is all going to be decked up with lights this Christmas. The council have invested in lights rather than setting off fireworks on the Christmas light switch on. So you'll be able to walk into Argentsmead and all the trees in Argentsmead, or most of them, will have all lights on. So I think it's going to be really nice Christmas feeling in the town this particular year. There we go. Just a bit of seasonal think something seasonal to look forward to. There's the white roofs of Hinckley 2 or 3 years ago. Lovely. Okay, that's a bit of drone footage. I am surprised there's no music there. I don't know why there's not. Sure there should be, but there we go. Okay then. So let's just quickly go through 6 of the best one more time. Just very, very quickly now. So I want you to name the famous local pioneer in orthopaedic doctor. That should read. Okay. I want his full name, please. Thank you very, very much. Question number 2. What connection does Muffin the Mule have to the late John Mills? Do not do Google, please. Have a nice clear conscience tonight. Question number 3. A well-known 80s TV series. If you fill in the gaps there, I wonder if you can get it. Yeah, I remember it very, very well. Question number 4. Guess the pop song played on the Hammond organ. Here we go. Ooh. Pull the stops. Yeah, he's doing it well. What song is that? I'm sure you'll get. I bet Kath will get that. She's bound to. Question number 5. True or false? An octopus has 3 hearts. Bigorra bigosh. Is that true or is it false? And question 6. Abelson Stencil Thief Taker. This is a local visitor attraction. And have you been there? Yeah. Good. And Hunt said, we had fireworks off the pier last night. Oh, lovely. Hinckley Pier's shut at the moment. It's closed at the moment, so we couldn't do that. Kath said, I love the drone footage, Paul. No problem. And Jan says, we heard fireworks tonight. I think they were coming from the rugby club. Yes. Dave B said, my eyelids are so heavy after that music in the drone footage. Let's see if we can wake you up a little bit. Right, we're going to go back in time. We're going to go back to 1989 now and just have a few short minutes looking at Hinckley Carnival back in 1989. My word, it was in its sort of latter days of the carnival, but this one was very well attended. So let's go back to those days and just savour some of the atmosphere for the next sort of 5-10 minutes.
your head a little bit closer to her. Both looking forward. Now just a touch more. You're not smiling. Come on. Cheer up. Here we go. And again. Just a bit. Go on for that.
I don't believe it. What? Yeah, it's sort of I don't know where you want to go forward by hole. They're level at the moment. Dropping in. We'll be alright, I think.
Oh, on the right.
Have you got it? That's lovely. Give me a kiss then. Look down.
Thingy, what's this like? Go back again.
There we are.
We're going to say hello.
So your photos yesterday, last year.
Is that what you wanted, like? Something like that?
Oh yes, this is absolutely
She hasn't stopped nagging me, I'll tell you.
beautiful. This is more like it.
Yeah, the lorry is the right one to the drive. And the help.
Yeah.
One of the judges fancy
I'm not going to make a video of it.
We're not getting to camera.
And this gentleman here rescued this from Bitterswell
I
Aerodrome.
was going to ask you what this was.
A man made it a fantastic offer. British Aerospace for this, and they just wanted it for the engine oil. And they said, no, this man wanted the rest of the restoration, so he got it. And, yeah. Anyway, I just thought you'd like to see a bit, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Shall we go down then?
Yeah, okay. So we get ready to
It's 75, and she's there, 80. Then you get your shilling bit. Yo, Richard! Now you're going to shout very loud, aren't you?
So, memories of Hinckley Carnival back in 1989. Look how big it was back then. Even then, it wasn't until the last carnival was about 2017, and there was only 6 floats. And it is such a shame, but with health and safety and all that sort of thing playing a more prominent role, which basically stops you from having fun to a certain degree. Although it's just how the way the world's gone. I think carnivals, as good as what they are, probably it's good that still in Hinckley that we have the car show, the classic car show, and the feast Hinckley and all that sort of thing. So other things have taken their place in really now, but that was back in the days when we'd still got industry in the town, a lot of local industry which would keep the carnivals going. You hear me say it every time, but that's the fact really. So there we go, Hinckley Carnival 1989. You had a nice flavour of it there, and if you've been following the chat in the chat room, you'll see that Steve has arrived. Yes, give him a round of applause. Mr. Nosy himself has joined us tonight. Now we're back on a Sunday night. This is about the 3rd, 4th one in the line, and Steve's made it tonight. He says, sorry I'm late. I've just uploaded a new video, blah, blah, blah. I'll have to get it down later, mate, because we've already got your Nosy lined up in a few minutes' time. Okay, a couple of parish notices now here at HDPP. Like I say, if you wasn't at the Great Social Night, which... oh, see, you missed a great night with Eddie Smallwood and yours truly, actually, because, hey, we had some spooky goings on, didn't we? For those that were there, projectors switching off, ooh, and me showing you the HDPP ghost again, ooh. But it was all good fun. We had some real good fun, actually. But you missed a great night, and Eddie did a super presentation, and so we'll get him back in the coming months. Now then, I don't like to sort of get it too, bring your attention to it, but I don't want you to miss the Christmas bash. Now, we have since Wednesday night, I have booked the singer. Her name's Julie, and she goes under the name of Julie Sings. So we decided to call it Julie Sings Christmas for our HDPP Christmas party. This will be on Wednesday, the 11th of December. Okay, so I don't want people, I'm going to the theatre that night. It doesn't wash. Don't miss it, seriously. We're paying good money here, and Julie does a great little show, and I've asked her to give a nice sprinkling of Christmas songs and some of her own favourites, which I know she comes highly recommended. And not only that, she will do, and we will all do, as you know, the 12 days of Christmas. That is a tradition which we will keep going, and she said she's happy to do that. So we'll be doing that on the night. But it's 7:30 onwards. It's open to all. So all members of HDPP can turn up, get there early if you want a seat. I'd also say you can also bring along your own nibbles and snacks. Yeah, okay. So bring them along. Set up camp on your table and have a great little Christmas with HDPP Serum. This is your night. This is your night when this is our way of saying thank you to you. We all have a bit of fun together, and it's always a great little night. Okay, Glyn, if you remember Glyn Morley, who came to sing to us a couple of years ago, actually now. Glyn's going to, all being well, be there to accompany Julie on some of her little songs, because they've got quite a following in Hinckley at the Asilo Bar on I think it's a Wednesday afternoon. So go along there, and like if you enjoy what they do there, it'll be like that but with Christmas for our HDPP Christmas party. Now, while we're doing all this, an appeal. I've got an appeal. Yes, so has a banana. We're appealing for prizes for our annual Christmas prize draw. If you can help us, if you email us or send me a message, that'd be great. And we want to launch the prize draw sort of in the middle of November, no later. And we'll have it all concluded. Before Christmas, okay? So we can do that. Looking forward to doing that again. Raising funds for local good causes, as you know. So if you can help us, if you've got something that you think, oh, that'll make a nice little a little prize, then get it to us. That'll be great. We've had some nice ones donated so far. We could do some more, please, if you don't mind. That'll be fantastic. Right, okay. Now then, where are we to, as we used to say, as we say in pantomime, where are we to now? Going for a nosy in just a minute, but before we do, last chance to go through 6 of the best this evening. Here we go with question number 1. I want you to name the famous local pioneering orthopaedic doctor. I haven't had time to put doctor in there yet. I want his full name, please. Name the famous local pioneering orthopaedic doctor. Okay, that is question 1. If you know your Hinckley history, you'll know that famous people came to Hinckley to see this very gentleman. Very, very good in his field at the time. Absolutely. That is question number 1. Question number 2. Now do this without going onto Google, please. What connection does Muffin the Mule have to the late Sir John Mills? There's a good little question, but don't Google it. Do it all on your own, right? There is your well-known 80s TV series. Fill in the blanks and it'll give you the title of it. There it is, look. Have you got that yet? I think some of you might get that. Okay, good. Moving on then. Question number 4. Guess the pop... Oh, got to get the organ out again. Hang on a minute. Oh. I'm getting fed up of playing this now. What song am I playing on my Hammond organ? Yes, it's a pop song. You can tell it. Some of you know it already. I know. I bet Kath knows it. She's bound to. She is HDPP's dancing queen. Is Kath at the HDPP disco the other week? She danced all night long. Yeah. Oh, I was too hiking the other day. True or false in question number 5? An octopus has 3 hearts. Is that true? Is it false? Okay, and finally, question number 6, the anagram question. Abelson Stenciled Thief Taker. That is a local visitor attraction. We've had it before, but it's a different question this time. Let's see if you can do it. Now, just before we go to our noser, Jennifer Richardson, actually, hi Jennifer, she was saying that, she'd love to come and meet us all, but we're talking about the Christmas party. Oh, I know, well... You'd always be made very, very welcome. We've had visitors from New Orleans and all sorts who come along and want to meet everybody because we're one big family here. Good. Now then, Russ, it's not coming to the party. I'm laughing because I try and organise these things best I can. She says, I'm pre-booked that Wednesday night. Our Christmas do with the Knit and Natter group. Bring them along. You can sit up the corner and natter. Okay then. And Jan says she's got brain fog tonight. She's too tired to think. Yes, I can understand that really, Jan. I know you've had a lot on in the last week or so, so there you go. Kath said, I don't know that. Kath, you surprised me. Kath said, I don't know the song yet. Hang on. Let me get the organ. I'm doing ever well on that. Really? Jennifer says, because Jennifer lives in Spain, by the way. And she says, one day she will come over. Well, you've been made very, very welcome, Jennifer. But you're joining us live all the way from Spain. That's brilliant tonight. We can't complain at that. Now then, I think we are now ready for our nosy. Now, if you're a new viewer, this is where one of our members, his name's Steve Picker, otherwise known as Mr. Noser, he goes out and he discovers these old industrial sites and places, and it's always fascinating, and he's not going to disappoint you tonight, I can assure you, as we go off with Steve for a nosy. Settle back and enjoy.
Just up here. You can just see it, can't you? Absolutely amazing. Oh God, I love it so much. I bloody love it so much.
Hello, hey up and how you diddling? My name is Steve and once again it's a great big warm welcome from myself to Let's Explore. I hope you're very well. Well, as you can see, we've got everybody's favourite man of the cloth, Mr. Steve Follows, aka the Pissed Up Priest.
Good morning.
Who is neither a priest or pissed up.
Nope.
Especially not these days. Anyway, less said about that, the better. Anyway, you join me and Steve up in kind of on the Derbyshire and Cheshire border, I think. Now, just down there, rip-roaring away, is the River Goyt. Now then, there's the remains of a once fabulous looking mill known as Mellor Mill, built by a chap called Samuel Oldknow. And this was completed, I think, in 1793. Now, walking down this trackway, you wouldn't believe the journey we just had down here in Steve's 1997 Rover Tomcat, which is parked just down there, bless it. We've just come from another nosy, which is the video you would have watched last week at Dinton, near Glossop. So we've come straight here to look at the remains of this place. Alrighty then, so where we've been gallivanting this week? Well, in this week's video we headed up to the outskirts of the Greater Manchester area, not too far from the town of Stockport, at a place called Marple, as you can see there in the centre of the screen. Now, 2 or 3 years back, Martin Zero, the legend that he is, made an amazing video here at a place known as Oldknow's Mill, or Mellor Mill. But Oldknow was a chap called Samuel Oldknow, who was a cotton master who had this mill built known as Mellor Mill, which was 6 stories high, and you've seen it at the start of the video with that amazing painting of the place. Now, as soon as I ever watched Martin's video, I thought to myself, I've got to get up there one day and immerse myself in this place. It was a really good video, and last weekend we went to Marple to film it, and I wasn't disappointed. What me and Steve found in the undergrowth, etc., the old infrastructure of this place was absolutely second to none. Anyway, there's a lot to look at and get us heads round in today's video. We'll look at the old maps later, and we'll talk about a bit of the history of the place later as well. But until then, let's go for a nosy, shall we? Right, so we've just got here really anyway, and you know what remains of this mill. Now, you've seen what the mill looked like. It was incredible, but the actual foundations of the place, they're all pretty much still here. Now look at this. That is a wheel pit. That is absolutely immense. It's incredible. And it needed to be a big wheel. I think that particular wheel might have been 22 feet in circumference by 17.5 foot wide. I'm not quite certain. I wrote a load of notes down, which I probably didn't need to do because there's really useful information boards everywhere. But there is stuff going off everywhere. We're going to try and get underground elsewhere. There's a bit over there I'd like to see. Some of it might be a bit awkward to make out here and there, but that's interesting there, Steve.
Yeah.
Let's get on with it. It's one of them, this is. It's me mind's in overdrive looking at it. So one of the great things about this site is that they've really catered for visitors by putting a series of really interesting information boards up here and there. Now, this plan that you're looking at, which was on a particular board, I didn't really spot or notice until we'd pretty much completed the exploration of this place. So throughout the video we might seem like we're a bit confused. I mean, we're daft at the best of times, to be honest with you. We get all excited at times in this video, which I do apologise in advance for. But where the arrow's pointing now, that indeed is the Wellington wheelhouse. Very useful, this diagram, it has to be said. Right, so here's another photograph I took of one of these fantastic information boards down here. Now this diagram is fantastic. They've really catered for visitors here. It's fantastic. I really do applaud them on that. But as you can see, we can clearly see how this mill worked at this stage anyway, because this is the wheel pit, or the water wheel I've just been showing you, the Wellington water wheel at the bottom of the diagram. And this is why it was so gargantuan and massive, and it had to be, because either side, as you can see, there were drive shafts to the left and right. And as you can see there, it had to power 6 floors worth of bobbins for this cotton mill. But what's fantastic, you're about to see on the drone footage, the actual shaft to the left, the drive shaft, you can still see the stonework where that used to sit. Look at this. So this then is the left hand side of the diagram that I've just been showing you, and this used to house the shaft on that side. Now as you can see, there's red engineering brickwork either side, and the stonework within there, the big stone blocks, I think that is where the actual drive shaft used to sit, with a bit of a walkway on the right. You can just about make that out there. Ain't it amazing that we've still got that to go and gorp at? Now I think all this used to be pretty much filled in, you know, and they've done an exceptional job in cleaning this place up so we can all go and have a gorp at it. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, let's carry on with the exploration. Now then, this is an original mill pond to this mill, but what I didn't pick up on earlier when we got here was I was trying to get my bearings. I've not had an awful lot of time to look into this, but the head race came from that pond and then rushed down here. This is the head race, this ramp down to the Wellington water wheel. It's absolutely immense, this is. God, I'd so love to go back in time and watch all this working. So in around about 1860, they converted this place from water power to steam using a Goodfellow engine that was made in Manchester, from what I've just read back there on the information board. Fantastic place, full of information. But according to form, they'd had a really bad drought, you know, around that time period. And the mill ponds here were struggling to supply this immense water wheel to power this place, because, like I say, water dominated everything in this industry, in milling. You know, without water they couldn't power anything, but of course with the great steam age and all that, they could change things a little bit. So this area here where I'm pointing, that stonework that's got the metalwork protruding up, I'm pretty sure that is where the Goodfellow steam engine was actually built to power the mill. Now the driving shaft that I've already shown you, they most likely constructed a new shaft there and connected it up to this system to power the upper floors. But the engineering and the minds behind this place, they were genius, weren't they? I tell you what, this place, I feel like a dog with 2 bonios. It's absolutely extraordinary. I think this is the remains of his house. So this before you then is the remains of Mellor Lodge, which was Samuel Oldknow's home. Now, when the mill were being built, he lived elsewhere, and that place elsewhere is written now at the bottom of the screen because I've forgot it. You can see the remains of a fireplace there. That there goes out to where I showed you earlier, next to the bridge on the other side of the road. Ah, right, no, so I hadn't told you about it yet. So this bridge is known as Bottom's Bridge, and Samuel Oldknow actually had this bridge built and a road that leads down here to improve access. But this intriguing passage that you're looking at now, that goes from here, the other side of the bridge, to Samuel's house, I really don't know what this would have been for. I ain't got a Scooby-Doo, to be honest with you. But as per usual, we were equally fascinated, I'll tell you that much. So this then is the man himself, Samuel Oldknow, and he was born in 1756 and died in 1828. And he was born at a place called Anderton, near Chorley, in Manchester. So work commenced on Mellor Mill in 1790, and the mill was eventually finished in 1793. But this wasn't Samuel Oldknow's first business, far from it. He'd been involved in this industry pretty much all his life, I think, up until this point. You know, in the Stockport area there was a boom, and of course Stockport is a town in the Greater Manchester area, not far from Marple, which was famous for all that kind of manner of work. But he was actually apprenticed to his uncle's shop, you know. His uncle was a draper in Nottingham. So he'd got a lot of experience, and you know, before Mellon Mill was actually built, he'd got various businesses in this industry. So although not a poor man by any stretch of the imagination, I think Samuel Oldknow actually likes borrowing money, and you know, the building of Mellon Mill is no different, because I think he actually borrowed money off the Arkwrights. Now, I'm assuming most of you have heard of Sir Richard Arkwright, and of course he was famous for having the mills at Cromford in Derbyshire, but I think it was Sir Richard's son, Richard Jr., who he actually borrowed money off. Now, Mellon Mill, you've got to remember, you've seen photographs of it, well, you've seen the painting at the start of the video, and I'll show it you again now. It was an immense structure, and Samuel Oldknow wanted this place built to make, and it looked like a country house. That's what he wanted it to look like. A very impressive building, as you can see, 6 stories high, incredible. But he borrowed a lot of money. Now, at the time of his death in 1828, I think he was in debt by well over £200,000. Now, that is less than the average house price in 2024, but back then in 1828, you're looking at millions of pounds, so he left a lot of debt. And Mellon Mill, or Oldknow's Mill, apparently it wasn't that profitable. I mean, at its height, you know, there was over 500 people working there. According to form, you know, he was a decent employer for those times anyway, but, you know, people got two breaks a day from what I was reading earlier, but they still had to work 13 hours. So he was a lovely chap, wasn't he? He didn't expect too much like the others did, who were a decent bloke to work for. But he liked to live a lavish lifestyle, according to form. But unfortunately ended up in a hell of a lot of debt. He was also, you know, something else I was reading, he was really into agriculture and farming, and it was, you know, where this mill stood, it was a bit of an estate, you know, and he had a farm there, and apparently he was always on at his tenant farmers to improve their ways of farming. You know, I think he was a bit of a perfectionist, and apparently he had water wheels on one of these farms that could cut vegetables up, turnips, etc. He was well ahead of his years, according to form, Samuel Oldknow. So the narrative says anyway. Anyway, let's get on with the nosiness, because we've got an awful lot to look at in this video still.
It's a stunning bridge this is, you know, that Oldknow had built. It's really big. Good span on it going across the River Goyt. But what I really like about it is this. Now, I think these protruding stones here are possibly the actual framework used to build the arching. And you've got them on the opposite side of the bank as well. You could just see them, look. Very interesting, I like that. Beautiful old bridge. Look at that. What you got, Steve?
It's an imaginary quid.
It's even got its own treasure.
Yeah.
Well, it's not an imaginary quid, it's a real one. Well, can you believe that?
That's been in there a while for the colour of the outer ring.
Wow. Well, there you go, you see. You're a quid better off.
Well, he's mucked his money. Yeah, I can eat today now.
Now then, just up here, you can just see it, can't you? Absolutely amazing. Oh God, I love it so much. I bloody love it so much. But again, I mean, there's all sorts going on. We'll have a look at all this afterwards. I don't even know how much battery power I've got left. We've already made one video today, the one you watched last week. You even got this little retaining wall here. It's all right, mate, you ain't in the way. Beautiful old retaining wall. Oh, I love these details. I wish the gang were here. I wish Dave could have come today. Indy Andy Jones, he'd have loved it. He'd have had a field day here. But we need to go up here, and I've got my torch. Let's go and have a nose there. Oh, hope it's not full of silt really bad. Right, here we go then, Steve. What do you reckon? You're there first.
Brilliant.
It's brilliant. Well, that's all I need to know, buddy. Hey, up. He's that excited. He's falling about everywhere. You what? It's not the main one. Right then, so the video I seen that Martin did a couple of years back, there was all sorts going on. So yeah, this ain't the main one. So watch yourself, mate. Maybe there's another open channel at the other end. I can't remember. Oh, this is amazing. Look at this. We've got stonework here, we've got red engineering brickwork, the other side. Oh, it's what dreams are made of, isn't it, when it comes to nosiness, mate? Right, let's get in here. So, I'm not sure how high the bank is above us. I can't remember now, I'd have to go back out. I'm not doing that now I'm in here, but is this a cut and fill structure? Possibly. Am I in your way, mate?
No, I'll just film coming back when we come back.
Wow, look at this in here. Do you know what, Steve? We're walking through history again, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, the men that were down here laying all this, you know, in the 1700s, 1790s. Unbelievable. I never get bored of it, you know. I never, ever get bored.
I can see railings up above.
Railings?
Up in front there.
Oh, yeah. Bloody hell, oh, please be open. I tell you what, mate, I'm so glad we come here. There's another one. I forgot about that. I can remember that.
We can't.
Jesus Christ.
This is mad.
Steve, look at that. That is not cut and fill.
This is absolute nuts.
Well, which one do you go in first? And that down there. Look down there. Oh my God. Oh Jesus, giddy Christ. Well, that may be well. I can't even talk. That may well be cut and fill. That one we just walked through. That ain't. There's rock above that. Look. There is rock there. I can't believe it, Steve.
It's amazing. I did not expect this.
I mean, what do you reckon? Where do you start?
It's amazing.
These people, they were geared up different to what we are now, I'm telling you. The terrain where we are, getting all this down here, I mean, never mind building it all, you've got to get it all down here. I'm in my element.
That goes to the wheel pit. So where's that go? They've carved that full rock.
Well, let's do the wheel pit first.
It's very low.
Is it?
You'll get all the way through.
Well, we'll try a little bit of it.
Right up.
Righty then, so at this point of the exploration, there's a lot of excitement and confusion going on. So I'll explain this as best I can, because what I've had to do, I've got halfway through editing the video, and what I've done some more research, and I've actually watched Martin Zero's video again to see what his take on this area was. Anyway, with help of this fantastic diagram that I took a photograph of, as I mentioned earlier, after we'd finished recording, I'm going to try and explain it a bit to you, so I'll do the best I can here. Right, where that arrow's pointing now, that was the first tunnel that we walk up, where the three meet. Now, in my opinion, that is the original tail race of the mill for the Wellington wheelhouse. Then what happened in 1815, they built the Waterloo wheelhouse because they realised they needed additional power to not only the mill, but the workshops and warehouses to the south of the site, to the north of the River Goyt, as you can see. Now, where them two arrows are pointing, that is a drive shaft that goes to the main mill and to the workshops and warehouses. Now then, what's happened, of course, I've said to you that tail race that we first walk up, in my opinion, is the original tail race. But what they did as a main tail race, they did away with it. And I'll explain. So where the arrow's pointing now, that is the tail race that comes from the Waterloo wheelhouse. Now, the problem they had when they actually built this wheelhouse was, it's below the River Goyt. And what they've done, they've tunnelled, which was a feat in engineering in itself in the early 1800s. They've tunnelled beneath the River Goyt, they've turned right, so our left as we look at the plan, and they've gone quite a few hundred yards downstream where they could catch up with the level of the river to disperse the water. But what they're doing, the water from the Wellington wheelhouse, the Southern wheelhouse and corn mill, they're recycling it to power the Waterloo wheelhouse. It's fantastic. So something that Martin does say in his video, and I must say I agree with him, because after looking at this plan and trying to figure it all out in my own head, I think he's right. Now, the Waterloo wheelhouse, like any water mill, would have needed maintenance from time to time. Parts would break off, become worn, and not only that, water brings with it debris. So somebody would have needed to go down there now and again and maintain it. Now, the problem you've got there is, straight away, is what do you do with the water? Now, that original tail race that we first walk up, I think Martin's right. I think that becomes a bit of a bypass. So they could stop the water getting into the Waterloo wheelhouse, and it could bypass into that first tunnel that we walk up. That's what he thinks, and that's what I think. Anyway, let's carry on with the nosiness. There's a lot to get through.
But yeah, it is low, isn't it? Let me have a look. I'll go and have a look, my lad. Oh yes, yeah, it's covered. It's fell in up there or something, isn't it? Yeah, maybe that is the wheel pit up there. I'm not quite sure, Steve.
I remember the gate in the middle of it.
Ah, okay, mate. Well, there were undergrowth at the bottom of the wheel pit and all, weren't there?
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, I ain't going up there. It looks like bad silt anyway. This is what we really come here for. Unbelievable. But, you know, like this one that we're about to go down now, it's been hewn out of rock. It's extraordinary. It's perfect. It's like we're in another world. I'm struggling to get my head round it. I'm struggling to get my head round the engineering of it all. And how you... No. And how you'd even start and where to even begin to start in designing a place like this in the 18th century, the late 18th century. What do you reckon, Steve?
This is nuts.
Well, he just said this is nuts. And my heart's pounding. Right. Oh, God. No. Look at this. Jesus. Look how I can't believe this. So they've built an arch here, a stone arch here.
Just to dress the front.
Yeah, to dress the front up a bit and tart it up and make it pretty. Look at that. But they've blasted the way through here with picks and shovels, so we're told. Steve, what's going on?
It's mad. Why is it here?
Well, we need to go up here, mate. We're not the only ones that come in here either. There's a few people, footprints.
So it's very interesting, this tail race tunnel that brings water from the southern wheel pit of the main mill. And as you can see, either side you've got that stonework packed in, which is purely there to hold the roof of this structure up. And it reminds me of the mine that we went in Bakewell many weeks ago now. It does look like a mine adit, don't it? But just look at the roof of this thing. It's like they got lucky when they wanted to carve it out of this rock. It's like they found a seam and were able to just chip away at that, and it just fell away nicely. A bit like slate wood, if you know what I'm saying. But we didn't really see any pick marks, which is strange. Anyway, let's carry on with the nosiness.
I've stuck my beak in some places, you know, but this was well worth waiting for a couple of years, this was. It's unbelievable. I mean, the engineering that's gone into this place, you know, before they've even started cotton milling here, they've had to build all this infrastructure. It must have been an unbelievable job. This wheel pit we've been sticking his beaks into, getting all excited about, which is near those big tunnels we've been showing you previously. This is a third wheel, so this was a third wheel on the site that was constructed in 1815, known as the Waterloo wheel. It was 20 feet in diameter and the width of it was 18.5 feet. It was massive, lower than the level of the river, of course.
Alrighty then, so in front of you there, where I'm conveniently pointing, that is where you find the remains of the Waterloo wheel pit. We really wanted to explore it further, but it is so overgrown down there. Right, if we pan the camera round, this is where it gets interesting. Now, on the day, I didn't realise that there were drive shafts coming from this wheel going up to the main mill and to the workshops to the south, as I've already explained to you. But it gets really interesting now. So as we make us way up these steps that Steve found, we come to a tunnel. That one in front of you. Now, that is where the shaft used to go through. Now, there is indeed some stonework still in there. That is where the shaft would have sat. It was on a bit of an angle, this shaft. But either side of here, it gets interesting now. These two side passages, I really do not know what those are for.
Now then, it gets a bit bizarre. You've got these two side adits here, look, which are conveniently unlocked. Now, I've already been up that one there, so I'm going to go up this one. I've also been up this, but they are both the same pretty much. So I'll take you up here. It is Spider City, so if you are arachnophobic, look away now. Mind you, I think I've cleared most of them out of the way when I came down here earlier for a wrecker. Yeah, some 300-year-old Tisky Polish lager there, as you'd expect. So this tunnel, I'm not convinced it was for water, but I'm not sure. There may be someone screaming at the screen now saying you're wrong, it is for water. I don't know, if I'm honest. It is fascinating. It's almost like a little mining adit. Oh, I think at this point I do have a large spider on my head. Hold on a second. Yeah, I do. Sorry, chap. Oh, there it is, on the floor now. Right. Yeah, they are everywhere, spiders in here, so. Right, so this little tunnel comes to an end here. It's been filled in. It's around about 80% filled in, as you can see. But then you've got this here. I mean, look at these spiders. They're everywhere. Sorry, I did say if you're arachnophobic, look away now. Now look at that up there. I ain't going up there because that is literally 3 foot. And it's very silty by the looks of it. But so what is this for?
Yeah, so ain't got a clue what that little tunnel's for that comes off the tunnel I've just been walking inside. There's so much to this site. It's an incredible place. If you're ever up in that neck of the woods, pay it a visit. But Mellor Mill then, so now what we're left with is a load of foundations and tunnels, which we're very thankful for. But why was it pulled down in the first place? Right, so there's a fantastic website with the history of this place on there for the village of Marple. And what I'll do, I'll leave a link in the description of this video, along with Martin Zero's video too, because I think you'll enjoy that. Anyway, I'm going to read a piece off there. So it says, the mill continued operations until the disastrous fire on a foggy night in November 1892. The blaze was not noticed until 2 o'clock in the morning, by which time it had gained a firm hold and there was no hope of saving it with the firefighting equipment then available. By 8 o'clock in the morning, nothing remained standing of the main building but the towering walls, gaunt and bare. New machinery that was valued at £2,000 had only recently been installed in the mill by John Clayton and Co. And as this was only partly insured, the loss to them was considerable. At this time, there were 200 people employed at the mill who would have had little hope of finding alternative work in the area. So, quite a sad story really as to what happened to this place. But, you know, originally, of course, Samuel Oldknow built this to look like a fine country house, part of a large estate, one that he lived on, of course, at Mellor Lodge. And, you know, this photograph, if you can hear snoring and all sorts going on in the background, it is my pug, Nev. Please be quiet, Nev. Noted, he says. But as you can see, you know, reduced to what it is here after all the expense and time of building this place, quite extraordinary and sad really. Anyway, before we go, there's another little tunnel with water pouring out of it into the River Goyt. We're really not sure what this was for, but I'm pretty certain it comes from the workshop area between the main mill building and the river itself. Just going to have a nosy, then we'll love you and leave you.
Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the engineering that's took place here is amazing over time. Retaining walls, you've got to build all this stuff, you've got to get all this material down here, you know. It's not a straightforward job. Same as the other side of the river. It's all man-made banks over there. But hopefully, oh, look at this for a view. Stunning stuff. Steve's disappeared anyway, so he must have found what we've come to stick his beaks in at anyway. I'm not going to be disappointed, he said. Hallelujah. Right, Steve's getting all excited. Steve, what we got?
We're hoping this is the other tail race.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Wow. Well, like you've just said, it's going to be very slippy, mate. Oh, awesome. Awesome beyond awesome. Look where we are, Steve.
I love it. Great.
Oh, unbelievable scenes. Right.
You can't stand in the middle of that if you're steady.
Right, okay.
You're stepping back off like
Oh.
that.
Jesus. Right. Wow. Well, I mean, I don't think we should go up there, mate, because it's going to be, where are you? It's going to be extremely slippy in there, I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
And after the morning we've had, we're not going A&E.
No.
It was bad enough getting down here. But look at that. Look at the engineering, folks, that's took place here. What a stunning, stunning piece of industrial history this place is. I'm flabbergasted. Right, well, unfortunately, that concludes today's video. We'll do the outro here. This is stunning, this place. There you are again, look at that. It's amazing. Steve, what do you reckon?
Absolutely brilliant day. Everything has been amazing today. Find after find.
Unbelievable.
Great.
I think this is my favourite. I say that nearly every bloody week, I reckon, don't I? But,
Yeah.
you know, we're so fortunate to live in a country where we've got all this old world heritage. And I often question sometimes the age of stuff, you know. I really do. And I do question how these places were built. When we're told it's primitive hand tools, etc., etc., which it may well be. I might be wrong, but I do question it sometimes. I really, really do, honestly, I really do. But absolutely incredible scenes once again, Steve.
Yeah, real good day, real good day.
Amazing. Well, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and share it with all your mates and your cats and your dogs and all that. And we'll be seeing you very soon at the next one, wherever that's going to be. I ain't got a Scooby-Doo where that's going to be at the minute. I might have an idea, actually. Anyway. Yeah, it did end up sunny. Anyway, I'm not sure what day I'm uploading this on, but it will be at the weekend. So if it's on a Saturday night, enjoy the rest of your evening. And if it's on a Sunday night, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye,
See ya.
Steve. There he goes. Another one. Nice, yes. Interestingly enough, I've gone like a beetroot now. My camera, it doesn't matter. I'm not really this red. My camera's I've just seen it flicker. Anyway, we can carry on. Great nosy. In fact, a lot of chat in the chat room about the tunnels and how claustrophobic. Now, I would be the same to a certain degree. You know, when you see these people that go down and do potholing, ooh, blimey, it really puts the willies up me. And Jan says it's very interesting, but I couldn't go in those tunnels. And Alan Kropp says the same. I couldn't force myself to go in there. And a lot of people echoing that, saying, yeah, that's very interesting, but wouldn't like to go in there myself. I've always got this feeling about cramped up places. I'm the same, you know, in crowds. I don't like to be crammed in. But in them sort of things, like you think, yeah, but what if you suddenly got stuck or the wall suddenly moved? Who knows? But anyway, and Jennifer Richardson really enjoying that as well. And say, Steve's had a real good turnout there. He said, really, really good. Look at this, how the lovely messages coming in for Steve saying, great nosy, you know, brilliant stuff. Excellent. Well done, Steve. Keep them coming. We've got a nice backlog of noses to show you over the coming week, so no problem there. So we will be catching up with him next week here on Hinckley District Past and Present. Now, it's time for the answers 6 of the best. Now, just before we even go there, now remember, don't answer question 5 when I'm only on question 2. Wait till I ask you to bring me to put the appropriate answer to the appropriate question. Okay. Otherwise, it gets very confusing down there in the chat room. Okay. So, with no further ado, here we go with the answers to 6 of the best. And my first question I was asking you, name the famous local pioneering orthopaedic doctor. I haven't had a chance to, my programme wouldn't run, so I couldn't put doctor in here. That's my problem. Anyway, so name the famous local pioneering orthopaedic doctor. He had famous people coming to visit him and to be consulted. There we go. And the first right answer comes in tonight. Thank you, Ange. You are correct. So is Dennis Perkins. Annabelle says, is it Doctor Who? Honestly. Jan Kirby, this must be the one you've got right. Okay, then. All right, then. We were looking for Dr. Robert Cheshire. We're looking for Dr. Robert Cheshire. And, of course, that's what Cheshire Street is named after, just for those of you that don't know. There you go. Oh, Mr. Smuggley's put his hands to the keyboard. Dr. Robert Cheshire, he said, with a smug there, yeah. Spelt it wrong, but I know what you mean, and it's not a problem. Well done, Daniel Coburn, as well. Dr. Robert Chester? Who's Dr. Robert Chester? That's what I want to know. Dr. Chester says... Also says Russet. So Daniel and Russet. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to give you one of our. I used to have a button somewhere. I can't find it now. It's gone. So can't give you that because quite simply, it's wrong. We're looking for say Dr. Robert Cheshire. Okay, moving on to question. Yeah. Oh, look, Russet, yeah, predictive test. No, I can believe that, actually. Predictive test. Yeah, quite right. So I'll give it you both. Go on, because I'm feeling generous tonight. Give yourselves a point each. Okay, then. Now, this is interesting. And without going on Google, what connection does Muffin the Mule have to the late Sir John Mills? Yes, Jan, he did go to Gloucester. Quite right. What connection does Muffin the Mule have to the late John Mills? I didn't know this till the other day, and I was just researching this quiz, and that came up, and I thought, that's interesting. I'm just waiting to see. John Denny says, presenter was his wife. And Dennis Perkins says, his sister presented Muffin the Mule show, said Dennis. And Jan Kirby, his wife did the talking. No, Dennis is quite correct. His sister presented Muffin the Mule. Her name was Annette Mills. Didn't know that. So it was his sister Annette that presented Muffin the Mule. That's right. Well done, Anne. And I like how Jan Kirby, his wife did the talking. Whose wife doesn't do the talking in any relationship anyway? So there you go. Annette Mills, John Mills' sister, and she presented Muffin the Mule. It's Muffin the Mule. But she did it far better than what I did, I can tell you. Okay, now let's see how you do with question number 3. I'm going to wait and see, by looking in the chat room, how many people have got this, or not, as the case may be. I think Dangerous Den may have an idea. But we will see. A well-known 80s TV series. I remember it being on in the 1980s. So I would say early 80s. Early 80s. Alan Cropp's already put his score in tonight. Nil, nothing, naught. Dennis Perkin comes in with the correct answer. Well done. Let's see if anybody else comes in. No, well, I will tell you then. The answer is the Flame Trees of Thika. Remember it? Yeah. That haunting music and stuff and whatnot. The Flame Trees of Thika is the answer we were looking for. So, Dennis, looks like you were the only one to get it tonight so far. According to the chat room, you're the only one that's put the correct answer in. The Flame Trees of Thika. Now, you can go on Google. Never heard of it, says Mr. Smuggley. Never heard of it. Google it. Now you can go on Google and find out all about it. Kath says, no, never mind. Let's go on to number 4. No, I've got to get the blooming Hammond organ out again. Right. Oh, look, I'm surprised. Anne Hunt said, nor me, John. So Anne's never heard of it. The Flame Trees of Thika. Google it. Seriously. Look, how many of you people have never heard of it? I can't believe that. Flame Trees of Thika. It was screened on the BBC for quite a while. I don't know. You see, you learn everything. Let me get my Hammond organ out now. And now I'm going to play you the pop song. Here we go. I'm gonna fly high. I'm gonna live forever. People will see me and fly high. You got it now? Anne Hunt's just got it. Yep. It's, of course, well, let's see if anybody else. Anne Hunt has just got it right. Quite correct. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna learn how to fly high. Fame. And she sung it much better than me. Dennis Perkins gets it. Fame. Jennifer Richardson still catching up with the last question. She'd never heard of the flame trees of Thika. Kath Denny. Kicking myself, Paul. Kicking myself. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Fame. I'm gonna live forever. Anyway. You know it now. There you go. It took me all week to learn how to play that as well. Yeah, it did. Daniel Coburn. Blimey, I didn't think it was Fame. Well, yeah, there you go. And true or false? I just want true or false. An octopus has 3 hearts. True or false? Let's just see if anybody gets that one right without, say, using the old Google. Let's just see. Because you hear about these things, who've got more than 1 hearts and all the rest of it, but have you got this right? Anne Hunt comes in with the answer. Anne says true. Dennis says true. Annabelle says trolls. She would. And John Denny says false. Daniel Coburn, true. Jan Kirby, true. John Denny, false again. Well, it's absolutely true. An octopus has 3 hearts. You see, you're learning something here on HDPP every Sunday evening. So the next time, because if you all go out and you'll decide to have octopus for dinner one night, at least everyone gets a leg apiece, don't they? Jennifer Russell says, bless her, she said, glad you sang it, Paul, I hadn't got a clue. And if you could decipher that through my poor singing, well done indeed. Right, now then, Kevin Beasley said it's true, by the way. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, time to give you the this one. John Denny said there's not much smug around here tonight. Bless you, John. No, normally, I haven't felt the smugness tonight. I don't know what it is, but maybe you can get it back on this one. The anagram. Because Anne Hunt says 4 for me. I never get the anagram. Abelson Stencil Thief Taker, a local visitor attraction. Let's see if anybody gets this. I'm just waiting for some of the answers to appear in the chat room before I reveal the answer. Gives you a chance to catch up. Daniel Coburn said, John's run out of power tonight. Or powder tonight. Yes, he has. Annabelle says, I'm feeling I can't say it. I'm feeling smug, John. Sometimes silly is the best. Can't be wrong, yeah. Wow. Nobody has got the anagram. Paul, do you want to roll this over for next week? No, Mrs. G's got it. Okay. Dying to know what this is. Okay. Hold the card up, Mrs. G, and I'll tell you. The answer to the anagram is Battlefield Line Shackiston. Battlefield Line Shackiston. That is your answer to the anagram. So, let's have those scores then, please, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see who has got what and what has got who. We would like to have a look now here. I look like red beetroot. It's the camera. Don't worry, I'll be my normal pale self next week. Looks like I've been out in the sun too long, doesn't it? Good grief. Right. Daniel Coburn said, roll over, roll over. No, go on, as you know, I gave the answer. Dave B, a few wild guesses, all wrong, except Octopussy. Well done, Dave B. Anyway, so now you see they're all catching up now. We always have to allow for the delay between me doing this and what I see, and before you get the answer, and then the delay, it gets to come back. So there's always a delay. Anyway, Jan Kirby says 2 for me. Annabelle says 72 out of 6, just like the 72 days of Christmas. You know, I don't know what she's been drinking tonight, but it must be good stuff. I might have some. John Dennis said, I had all the words, but I must have confused myself. Never mind, John. There's always next week. Carol said, sorry, I'm having trouble with my broadband. I've missed a bit. Well, you're back in time for the end. Probably the best bit is the end. I can't blame you for that. John Denny, I've got 1 tonight. Russet, 1 tonight. Jeff Wallace, just 1 tonight. People haven't done very well tonight. 2 for Daniel Coburn. Okay. Now we're getting into interesting territory because Nobody's got 6 of the best, but somebody, let's just see who gets the highest score. Dangerous Den, how are you doing tonight? I'm guessing you've done reasonably well. Jan, I'm going to bed now. I can't stay awake anymore. Jennifer said 0, 0, 0. Nil, gone, nothing. Well done, Jennifer. It's taking part. It's taking part. And if you learn something along the way, that's great. Anyway, Kath Dennis, she's off as well now. Look, she's saying goodbye in the chat room. There we go. They're all off. Dennis Perkins can sit there. He can be Mr. Smugly tonight. He gets the Smugly crown tonight. Dennis has got 5 out of 6. Ooh, so well done, that man. I thought you must be doing okay on that, Dennis. So well done. And thank you for playing 6 of the best. It's always a bit of fun and stuff. Now, just a heads up, all being well in the Christmas party night between the two, between the song, let's say part 1 and part 2, hopefully going to play Your Cards Right. I've got a dolly dealer called Annabelle, and we're going to that's going to be a bit of fun on that night. That's, to sort of break the night up. Should be good. Anyway, Dave B said, I discounted Shaki because no Y from railway. You see, did line instead of railway. And once again, Queen B, she's off. She said, I'm ready for sleep now. I scored 4. And Carol says, my body's still on summertime. I'm ready for you all go in bed. What do you like? What do you Well, in that case, I might as well join you. Alan Crop says, thank you, Paul. Better than watching TV, even with zilch. Yeah, I know what you mean. We've really enjoyed it tonight, and thank you for spending some of your Sunday night with us here at HDPP. Remember, we'll be back next week. Remember, we've got a Christmas date coming up on the 11th of December. We're also appealing for prize draw prizes, please. That would be very good. And, we look forward to your company next time here on HDP, next Sunday night, 7:30. Until then, take care. Ta-da. Oh, hello. Just for time for a couple of dad jokes before I go and change colour because I'm all red. Amazing. A few little dad jokes to send you back off with a little chortle, a little bit of a laugh. I like these. I think you're going to like them too. I hate Russian dolls. They're so full of themselves. I love this next one. I really do. Me and my friend were having a few drinks last night, telling each other our best chat-up lines. Some of his were so good, I ended up back at his place. Oh, dear. And Rick Astley will let you borrow any movie from his collection of Pixar films except one. He's never going to give you Up. Yeah, that's a clever one. Two more. My new dog Minton just ate all my shuttlecocks. Badminton. And finally, my wife says, our new neighbour always kisses his wife when he leaves for work. Why don't you do that? And I said, well, because I hardly know her. See you soon. Take care. Ta-da.